Banter fam, happy Friday. Guys, it's important to start preparing ourselves for some targets. Market is slowing down, which for me is starting to show a little bit of exhaustion to the downside. Now we know this because high time frame RSIs are at the bottom. And what's very important is to always be a step ahead. And in this show, I want to speak about the targets. I want to speak about this market is definitely on the midterm. You could see this very clearly over here that we are in depression phase, right? We had the very big capitulation and we've seen this multiple times. We know this cheat. We know the emotions, right? The emotions will always play out. And we have seen this big phase of the anxiety, denial, and the capitulation, the one that just comes out of nowhere and just smacks the altcoins very big, right? And then what you see is the anger phase. Bounce, doesn't recover quick, starts making its way down, angry phase, right? And then you get the chop. And when it chops slowly, and then it makes a slight lower low. You see how we go slightly lower than the previous levels, okay? And this is known as a depression phase where it just slowly grinds. Every small pump comes straight back down, okay? And what it does is this bottom piece here traps all of the longs here in depression, and then we go into disbelief. So by going and understanding that, hey, this market's in the phase now to go into disbelief phase, which means it is time for the market to start turning. It's time to start to see the other side. So we've been focusing so much on buys and so much on focusing on where we are entering this market and starting our recovery trades, right? But it's important now for us to look at what are the targets, okay? And there is a very big opportunity for bulls, but a very serious one too. And what I mean by that is we've seen the bears response. Okay, we saw a rally in Q4 last year of 2024. That was very powerful from the bulls. Then Q1, okay, we saw the bears. And now what we're going to see is the bulls' response. And this response is going to determine if we are truly in this massive bull market, right? That's the question. This is the total three. That is what the bulls did in Q4. This is what the bears have done in Q1. Okay, now we're going into Q2 and we're looking at the bulls' return. And it's important to see how far these bulls can get. It's not about is the market going to go up. I'm very certain the market's going to start moving up again. It's the question of, are we going to go make that massive higher high? If not, right, it means this market is going to trend for a couple of months, okay? Which means that the only thing that's going to shift, okay, is a little bit of a mentality of taking a little bit more profits when the market starts moving to the upside, okay? We got to understand that this range is huge within crypto right now. Okay, and I want to speak about the targets. I want to speak about if we're going to range the targets for next week, the targets for the next 3 months, okay, and the plan. And how do we know if this market's going to go full bull as well? Okay, and what are those kind of targets looking like over there as well? So again, when the markets are red and you are feeling, remember, guys, 20% of crypto make all the money, 80% lose their money. Right? And the only difference between these two categories is the emotions that they drive off of. Okay, the emotions that the 20% buy versus the emotions that the 80% buy. Okay, and that's the difference between the two, is the emotions that they feed on buys and that they feed on sells. So let's go through this. Let's go through where the market is emotionally right now, and let's get ready for our damn targets. Let's get ready for the bulls to return, and let's make sure that we are always a step ahead. And I always say this, before we're going to get drunk, before we're going to go and drink tequila and the bulls start returning, while we're in a sober state of mind, it is time to focus on where we're going to take profits. Where is our strategies and what are we aligning and what is going to make us happy on the next pump, so that when we start getting drunk again, okay, we've already set the targets when we were sober. So guys, happy Friday. I'm going to keep pushing every day. New shows, we keep pushing on. We are the ones fighting the hardest points, and we'll be the ones that reap the reward. But we got to keep going day by day, and let's get ready for the disbelief move. Let's go.
I try and help everyone in my space, and this is what I get. I try and fight the devils, but inside I'm just like sniper. Welcome to Sheldon Show.
Fam, happy Friday, guys. Like up the video, subscribe right into the channel. Like it up. I want to see we're still in, we're still strong. We're going. Everything is temporary. When you're rich, it's temporary. When you poor, it's temporary, right? It's about how we react and what we do next. So let's go straight into it and let's jump straight into the charts, okay? And let's look at a couple of things. Guys, high time frame, it's a no-brainer that we are starting to now get to this point where the RSIs are flatlining, right? Flatlining. You could see here, multiple 2-3 weeks, we are just flatlining at the bottom here. Okay, it is telling us that a pulse is coming. It's telling us that a pop is coming. Okay, now a pop can look like this. Okay, a pop can look like this. Okay, if so, this is incredible to see where we are. Nonetheless, each pop is basically determining that even if we do something like this, that's a 30-40% move, right? This is getting ready to start moving up. The flush out has happened, okay, and it's very clear that in the midterm, we are definitely in these depression phases. So what we are seeing now is we see that, firstly, we're kind of doing what we've done previously before, and I've spoken about this. We've done the 50-60% pullback, very similar to what we've done previously, okay? The last thing we need to see now is the break of this trend. Right, and you can see we are slowly creeping up to this trend over here, indicating that in this next week, might even be on this weekly close, we might actually see a pop over the weekend, okay, is when we're actually going to have the bulls start to return. And the big question from there then, again, is are we going to go and make a lower high? If so, markets are going to do this for a couple of months, okay, which means there is opportunity. You cannot allow and wait for a full-blown bull market to get rich, right? Something like this can make you rich, right? Because it actually becomes quite not predictable, but it becomes quite nice because you get to catch Solana as an example in the low hundreds, sell it at 200, catch it at the low hundreds again, sell it at 200, and just do that multiple times, and you can build your accounts to a crazy amount, right? But that's the thing. The important thing is now the bulls are going to return, and will it be a lower high? If it's a lower high, market is trending for a couple of months, right? Just means that markets in general are just not ready to go up. Stock markets, everything as a whole, a lot of politics going on in the world, okay? That's what it means. However, we have not proven that just yet. We have not made a lower high just yet. As it stands right now, you do have to have your full bull cap and understand that this is still a very bullish trend, okay? And the next scenario as well is we start popping here and making our way up to those areas. And that's an all-time high break on alts, right? That's where alts really start going to the higher time frame. So if you zoom out over here, it is quite clear to see that where altcoins are right now, they're kind of sitting in this hope stage, right? They're sitting in this phase over here. Okay, maybe optimism, but hope. Hope is the one where we're kind of hoping that our alt season's coming. We're kind of hoping that we're in a bull market, right? It's not feeling optimism. It's not feeling like we 100% confident anymore. It feels we're definitely in the hope phase. So zooming out, you know, we could see, and when does hope come in? Hope is basically at close to previous all-time highs, close to the top of the range. We're hoping we're going to break. We're hoping we're going to go parabolic, right? We're hoping all these things are going to basically happen. So by zooming out again, we're kind of getting a good understanding that we are definitely in hope. Now, Bitcoin is a stage ahead of this, right? If you look at where Bitcoin's at, Bitcoin's kind of in the next phase. Bitcoin's definitely in the higher phases because this is where Bitcoin was in hope, right? Bitcoin was in hope. And remember, Bitcoin also struggled to get through the hope stage, right? Bitcoin also had to go through the couple of months of sideways chop right at the all-time highs and then it get going. So I like to see altcoins looking like this and I like to see that this is still coming with the altcoins where it's just going to break away from this range. Okay, and again, this was choppy and a lot of destruction happened there. But when this pop happens, yeah, it will kind of all be gone. You know, accounts will be recovered, but the entries you'll be sitting with is something that you can survive the next pullback that will happen in a couple months from now, right over there. And if you look at this of where Bitcoin is at this point, Bitcoin's definitely in this optimism belief. I think we're all kind of believing in Bitcoin quite a bit at this point. Else, we've been a little bit sad, but when it comes to Bitcoin, I think we're quite impressed of how strong it's been. You know, considering like looking at compared to alts, looking at compared to the rest of the market, it's done really good. Bitcoin is still sitting in the 80,000s, and it's reacting really good. It's getting bought up on bad news. It's getting strong. Like it's looking good. So optimism belief is kind of where Bitcoin's at. We still got to see the thrill. We still got to see the euphoria, right? We still have to see the speed up. So what that basically looks like is something like this goes into a thrill phase, and then the massive. You know, we've seen it. We've seen how Bitcoin just goes into this massive peak where it just goes absolutely parabolic in a very short period of time. That is euphoria. And that will be the top, right? That will basically be from here. We go into the thrill stage. We go into euphoria. And that will be the top and bear market. And remember, I think that these 70, 80,000 is going to be the next cycle's lows. Maybe 60,000, which means we can easily rampage up to 180 to 200K. And then come down over a couple of months to this area and then start the cycle again, because that's what Bitcoin does, right? Bitcoin does this, goes through the big bear, goes up, goes through the big bear, goes up. That's what it does, okay? But over time, you can see that Bitcoin's in an uprising wedge. It's getting bigger. The waves are getting bigger. Think of it as surfing, right? Waves are just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's probably going to continue this all the way till $1 million one day, if not a lot more, right? So right now, as it stands, we are still very much in a bullish scenario when it comes to Bitcoin, but we also know thrill and euphoria is still to come. Where in altcoins, we look over here, we haven't even gotten to the phase of, let's jump back here, to the phase of optimism or belief. And that's where altcoins got to go next, right? Basically believing that alt season is really here in these side of areas. And that for me looks something like this. We start rallying up, we start moving here, okay? We go through that phase and we start ripping into the crazies. And again, alts will go this parabolic and then the same thing. They will come down hard. Where we probably are now is going to be the cycle's next lows, which means it is vital for us to take profit in the bull market. It's vital for us to take profit if we're in a ranging market. It is vital, right? Because prices are going to come down. Altcoins, I think, will be volatile for a very long period of time. Okay, a couple of higher cap, let's say your XRPs, a couple of other tokens, well, they'll probably hold it up better than the rest of the market. But when it comes to alts in general, we're here to use altcoins for the volatility and we're here to make the cash. Nonetheless, this is bullish and it's still remaining very bullish. And we've got to understand the emotions that are playing out. Now, the next thing to understand, again, so two scenarios. Pump here, lower high, we trend, right? Why would it do that? It will do what Bitcoin did. It'll basically say, hey, let's go for a couple of months. We've done 2-3 months now to the side period on alts. Let's add another 3-4 months, which means the range is quite big. Because if you remember this time with Bitcoin, even Bitcoin is sitting between the low 50,000s and the 70,000. A 40% range on Bitcoin is huge. Altcoins, that is a 100% range, right? Altcoins are basically double. They do whatever Bitcoin does, but double. To the upside and to the downside. Very volatile when it comes. So if that happens, then we're in the ranging points. Nonetheless, bulls are returning. Both scenarios, bulls are returning. And again, you also have to have in the back of your mind, okay, that every trade that you are taking right now, every position you're trying to build, everything you've bought, you are building it for the bottom. You are building it that, hey, this scenario plays out and we start rallying up into these areas. Then there will be a dip off. Then there will be a continuation. But anything you're in here won't get affected by this dip off over here as well. Okay, so very important. So again, two scenarios. Range, full bull. Both of them resulting in markets going up very soon. Okay, and actually start rallying up again. So let's zoom in now and let's go through a couple of things before we go into targets. Let's quickly look again at where this market is emotionally right now. It is pretty clear. We were euphoric, okay, in December, early December. We were euphoric on altcoins. That was a crazy run. Look at that. You can't tell me that before that, look what the altcoins did. This is where we are right now, guys. Look how hard it was to trade altcoins. This was tough. Every pump was smashed. But look at when the bulls came in. Look at that. No pullbacks. One straight damn line. Okay, and this is going to happen again. This is going to happen again because this, I also got chopped to pieces. Okay, but the amount of cash and the amount of momentum I made back when this happened. Okay, and I remember at that time, I was even slightly bearish. I was selling a little bit early at this point. But what I did with accounts in that time was incredible, right? When they come in, they don't stop. They don't pull back for nothing. They just go. And remember, this was a big accumulation time. And this was the result of that, right? This is what happened after this period. So let's not sit and say anything is happening different with alts. We have done this. We did this throughout the whole of last year, right? We saw the chop between alts and we saw these sort of areas and we saw these big flush outs, okay? But you also saw the emotions, right? And I want to play it out here for a second. We saw that just before that happened, we saw the euphoria. We saw the complacency. We then saw the panic, the denial, the anger, the depression, right? That's what all this chop did. Okay, and then we saw the disbelief. The disbelief was the first higher high here. You see here, the first higher high. Popped our head through and went parabolic, right? So now we go back over here and look at that. Massive rally, full euphoria. Came down by the dip. We were strong in over here. Complacency, lower high. Big concern, right? From there, anxiety, panic, denial, panic, capitulation. One of the biggest wicks and huge amounts of liquidations that we've seen in a long time, right? That came in hot over there. We capitulated. We went up, okay? Looked like a strong bounce. Didn't. Came back down. Got angry, right? Then started to trickle down and form this big depression. And the big part to understand now is this depression phase here. This is kind of the last major shakeout before the market starts moving because it shakes the market out slowly, right? The first one came in violent, came in hot, okay? And a lot of people that possibly long this area here or long this area here, best way to protect themselves is to go under this wick, right, over here. So you can see that what that did is there was a lot of longs that were taken from the market in these areas over here. There's a lot of interest that was still within crypto when this happened, right? And what do? They trapped the longs. So what happens is you go into this depression phase, which is just a range phase. Every pump gets sold into, right? Gets quite depressing. You kind of lose quite a bit of hope within the markets, okay? It comes slightly lower. What that does is it traps all the longs, makes a lower low, gets everyone to doubt, gets everyone to exit, gets everyone to get stopped out, gets people to get liquidated, right? It's the event that destroys, and then we start the slow grind up. And what we're looking at now is the next phase is to get ready for disbelief. Now, disbelief can happen in two ways. This thing can happen quick. We could start rallying from here, and all we're looking for is for us to finally break one of these highs. Remember the sign that happened here? Right? What was the first sign? Was the first higher high. You see that over there. These lower highs resulted in us staying in the range. The moment we made our first higher high over here, you could see what came next, right? So it's the same thing over here now. Is we have not been able to get, since the early of Feb, we have not managed to get a higher high. We've been making these highs and lower highs and lower highs and lower highs. So what you're looking for now is that pop for that higher high. And this is going to be the disbelief move. What will then happen is a pullback, and then we go into the hope phase. And this is in the midterm. Okay, we know in the high time frame we're staying at the hope phase. And after this, we go into the more exciting emotions, right? The ones that really get the higher time frame moves going again. Okay, but when it comes to where we are right now, midterm, and I'm talking the next 2 weeks, right? We must start getting ready for a disbelief pump. Okay, and this disbelief pump is going to be good. It's going to be a 20-30% move that's going to come. And again, there's a few ways this happens. It happens very quickly, a little bit slower, which means it takes 2 weeks to slowly get up there, to slowly grind up, grind up, grind up. One more shake, and then we go into the massive hope phase. This is what the market is ready for. The market is ready for these areas over here, okay? And what this looks like on any short term, it can do something like this and then start rallying up, okay? If there's one more shakeout, it's one that's going to be bought, okay? It's one that's going to bring buying power. But as it stands right now, we should see a slow grind up, and we should actually see a speed up pretty soon. And this first higher high push in over here, it might go higher, okay, but a push up into disbelief phase, people won't really believe it, okay, yet a lot of eyeballs will start coming back. Then there'll be a shakeout. I told you so, I was right. And then we'll go into the real hope phase and the push up over there as well. Okay, so again, what this looks like on Bitcoin itself, okay, is Bitcoin is fighting these trends now, and Bitcoin's in that same phase, right? I want to zoom out here and show you guys again where Bitcoin's actually at this point. And what I like about Bitcoin is it's still sitting in its bull trends. You see that? This is why I'm remaining bullish here and why I think the low is very soon within Bitcoin, because we are not breaking these trends. These trends would then concern me and say, hey, we want to go back down to the 60s, right? As it stands right now, this is support. This is us sitting on support at this point, and it's telling us that any moment from here now, we are going to go into that disbelief phase. And we're going to have a nice little catch-up of Bitcoin back into the 90,000s. The altcoins are going to do strong. They're going to be good there at points. It is ranging the dominance, but it's ranging because people are not certain about Bitcoin. The moment Bitcoin shows strength again, you will see dominance come down, and you'll see the altcoins catch up very quickly. They're the ones that are undervalued, and they're the ones that have been getting smashed. So this is what it looks like. There might still be a chop for another 2-3 days. There might be, but we know it's coming to an end pretty soon because the RSIs are telling us so. There's crossing the RSIs here at the bottom here. Again, it's telling us high time frame. Market's going to start popping. Okay, so if it does want to chop for another 2 days, so be it. But this is what I see happening. I see on the midterms, which means traders, listen up. Those who want to make some money on the short term, you are fighting here. Yes, you're fighting here. You're looking after your stops. You're managing your risk, right? But your pop is going to be worth it. Okay, so a pop from ETH is a pop from here to $2,800, $3,000. Okay, your midterm targets. From there, we have the shakeout, disbelief shakeout, and then we go again. Right, so it gives you a good opportunity to understand that this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing Solana pop to 180, 200. Okay, I'm seeing Cardano have this pop to areas of the 90 to 98. Right, and I've spoken quite a bit about this, and I'll show you. Like, there we go. Chainlink to the $20. Shakeout, then start moving. It's a good opportunity. This is midterm. Before we speak about the high time frame target, there is XRP. XRP has the pop up to $3. Right, shakeout, get going. This is what the market is ready to go for. Here is Sui. So again, we're chopping here. We're not outside the trends just yet. We popped our heads a little bit yesterday. We are fighting right by the trends. Okay, but this is where you build trades. This is where you get ready for trades. This is going to be the pop, and you're going to be too late. You don't want to come and buy that, guys. You don't want to wait for this pop to happen, and then you come and buy within this market and you come late again. No more late, right? You have had literally weeks to buy. You have had weeks to build positions, right? And right now you have another big opportunity over here as well. That's the pop on 𝗬𝗎. That's the pop on 𝗬𝗎, right? And you can see they're big, nice 40, 50% moves. That's the one on Doge. The Doge goes to the late 20 cents, right? Then we have Sonic. There's Sonic, right? Then we have Say. Say for me is also going to be a nice one. It's ranging sideways here at this point, right? But when it pops, you can see the short squeeze, something like that, and then something like that. Okay. Remember that these high time frame indicators are telling us that we should pump. Okay. From here, we should slowly start recovering, but we should pump into the areas of the June, July. And again, that's where I think the markets will slow down a bit in those areas. But for the next 3 months, we should see some growth again. And remember that if that's all the bears had and the bulls return the way they've returned previously, we're going to see a higher high on the weekly. And that means mega gains from where we are now. That means some 200, 300, 400% trades are incoming, right? If we decide to range, that's 100% trades that we're looking for. So what are my targets? If Bitcoin holds this area, okay, I'm seeing a higher high in Bitcoin over the next couple of months. Okay, and my first target is going to be, yet again, $125,000 to $130,000. First target. My bull market target of 2025 is sitting around $170,000 to $190,000. Okay, that's where my brain's at for the cycle. When it comes to these alts over here, if we decide to range, it's going to pump to $3,200, $3,500. Okay, and we will come back down to the 2000s. We'll range for months. If we do what I'm expecting, the bull scenario, okay, I'm seeing a $6,800 to $7,000 ETH. I'm literally focused on the entries that we have right now. Even the fact that we have 2 to 3x possibilities on ETH is it shows there's a big opportunity, right? When it comes to Solana, I have a $400 target on Solana if we go full bull. If not, $220 if we range. That's a safe place to take some profits, right? If we don't get through there, it means we range it. We can come all the way back to down to the $100. But $400, and if Bitcoin goes to $190,000, I have a $600 target for Solana. That makes sense, right? If we look at things like Cardano, I think is going to do incredible things. I really do. I think it's going to have a strong pump. And I have this $1.9 to $2. This is if we are still bearish this year and we are ranging, right? Cardano is just going to keep outperforming the market, I think. I think this thing is hungry. It's stronger than the rest of the market. It's looking really good, okay? And that's if we're ranging. If we decide to go up to all-time highs and altcoins break highs, I have $4 to $5 on Cardano, right? So remember, I got my money split up. Some of my capital is sitting in trades and some are sitting in long-term. These are my long-term targets, waiting to see if we're going to get a higher high on the next push up. Okay. If we don't, I know these are my targets to just bank some money. And that will recover a lot of losses that have already happened, right? Just get things back to where they were. Where I was quite happy with my finances a couple of months ago. Okay. But I also on the back of my head know that there's a bull market here to play. Chainlink, $80 if we get to that high area range and we're going to full bull this year. If not, $30 to $35 is the next major targets here. XRP, I think XRP is getting ready for a $4.5 to $5 rally. Okay. 𝗬𝗎, 3.9 to 4.2. If we go full bull, yeah, 7.5. Okay. Near protocol, if we look here, first one, 5.6 to 6.4. If we decide to go full bull here, then I got the areas. Let's just pop it in. Main 618. Okay. Which is this area of 13. Now, guys, you see me chart every day. If I can ask you one favor, learn how to become a badass charter and a very good structured emotionally trader in this bear cycle that we have seen. Become good. Just become clever. It's one thing I ask you. You can do yourself the biggest favor ever. You know, you're going to watch my shows and make your own decisions, right? You're going to watch anyone's shows and make your own decisions. Get smart. Get yourself on another level. And I'm going to remind you again, I think it is absolutely crazy. And I want to get this image up over here for you guys. I think it's very crazy if you are not doing schools and stuff right now. I really do. Because what I'm doing with this specific school as well, I got a cohort starting next week, right? And I want to show you guys this over here. I got a school starting next week. And I'm actually making, you know what's nice about this school? Is it's very much focused around the areas of, let's just bring this up over here, of this current market, right? Previously, we just had the school, but we're very much customizing the school. I'm busy shooting 2.0 at the moment. It's going to be the best school ever. It's incredible. Okay. But I want to show you this over here. Like in this specific cohort, I'm going to show you guys, no leverage. Let's build 3x portfolios now. Let's learn with these current entries. I haven't seen this good of entries in many months, if not a year or two on altcoins. Okay, you get to do it all again. Okay, which means there's big opportunities 3 to 5x your account on the next pump. Right, I want to teach you about this. I want to teach you every tool that you know, and I want to make you really good. Guys, I want to remind you, Sniper School's had 130,000 students plus go through the school. It's incredible, right? This has helped a lot. So again, it's going to be 4 workshops. It's going to be 10 days of your time. Okay, it's not a lot. You are going to get 14 free days of Sniper Club as well just by joining this cohort. This is worth 2K, $2,000 what it's worth, but you get it for free. You get it for free. Okay, how? You just by signing up an exchange link, but you can do this in school, right? You don't have to do it all year, but any of these exchange links over here that you use, okay, you get into school for free. So there is the school link over there. And join me, because this cohort, we are focusing on actual people inside of the audience. So we're going to help them build full structures for their financial goals and show you how do you do that. But this one is very much focused around, hey, let's focus on 3xing our capital. Let's focus on strategies for that. And let's get ourselves going. So I want to bring this back up again. And just to remind you again over here, to bring it up over here, is this is up for you guys. I think it's crazy if you are not getting better and smarter right now. Do yourself the favor, not me the favor. You can keep watching shows and YouTubes your whole life and try to figure out crypto, or you can really just figure out these things yourself, and you can start getting smart with it. Okay, and you can really understand that you have the power and you are the person to do so. So join school. I've set a bunch of targets for you guys. Remember, Sniper Club, you have all these targets and you have all of these charts as well for you guys. Lots of love to you all. We've got a very cool debate happening later today on the channel. We have a Banter Friday with all the hosts, and we've got the Bulls versus the Bears. We're going to have a little bit of debates, and it's probably going to be me being the bullish guy as normal, and everyone's going to be bearish, and we're going to go and chop it up. And you know what? I'll probably get teased for a little while, like it happens. And then a few months' time when the markets go full bull again, then everyone says, sorry, Sheldon, you were right. Right. I know it's been a hard period, but I've stuck to my guns, and I'm going to continue sticking to my guns. That the bull is the side that we want to be on right now, and we don't want to lose focus on this market, and what has actually happened fundamentally has been very bullish for the markets. Let's stay focused, let's get smarter, and let's whoop ass. Have a fantastic weekend. Love you guys lots, and I'll see you guys all next week. Much love.